I think you have a
Welcome.
question also in the question and answers. There was someone asking something about.
Oh, okay. Let me go check it out. Should we take notes? And there will be a replay. I just went ahead and hit the record button. So yes, we will add this to our YouTube channel, but feel free to take whatever notes you feel led to, but we'll have this as a replay. So we are kicking off. This is April 2nd. I'm glad we're past April Fool's Day, so I can't make any big jokes on here today. But you know, something that has just been such a joy over the years talking about essential oils and outdoor adventures is I've actually gotten to go to 18 countries. And I've gotten to sing in about half of those and perform and, you know, do other adventures like hiking in the Swiss Alps. Um, a friend who was with us at the time wanted to hike the Matterhorn. And so I was still in high school and not as experienced of a climber, so didn't end up doing that. However, oh, chat is disabled. Okay, let me go ahead and see if I can figure that out. Um, You may need to actually accept being a panelist, but just not share your face, and if you'd like to write in the chat. So I'll go ahead and just promote to panelist. There you go. Okay. So what was interesting being in Switzerland, staying in Zermatt, was that we experienced all sorts of challenges during that trip. It was about 2.5 weeks. My mother, Terry Seacrest, actually hired a climbing guide, and we did 3 separate climbs. And so on one of the climbs, we did some bouldering and some rock climbing, and I got a few scratches. So, what oils are we going to have with us on the go? What was nice is I have just learned to take some sort of a backpack or fanny pack. I enjoy having a CamelBak because then I can also put my water flask in there. And I take my little 10 essential oil hard carry case. And that's if I know I'm supplying oils for myself and several other people on the trip, because if others that are going with us maybe don't use oils yet or didn't think to bring their own, or you just want to have one person carrying your stash of oils rather than each person have the first aid kit, you know, you're going to want your 5 ml or your 15 ml bottles just because, you know, it's good to have that. However, you can also get the tiny little small bottles that fit about 20 drops of an essential oil. I think that Young Living may have those, or you can find them like on Amazon or maybe Seeds of Time, for instance. And those are good just because it's lightweight and you know, super compact. So you can technically get really compact with um, taking smaller bottles of essential oils with you. But for whatever reason, I've just gotten the habit of, for instance, like I always keep my small bottles of peppermint, like Peppermint Vitality. Any of the Vitality bottles are great with the oils that come in Vitality versions because then you have the smaller bottles. So usually I'll keep my Peppermint Vitality bottle in my to-go bag rather than the larger peppermint. Um, and things like Digize Vitality. Now, I think we know this, but what's really interesting is that Young Living has 40 essential oils that come in the white labels that say Vitality on there. Raise your hand if you know how that is different than the regular bottle. What is it, Marie Louise?
It's the same as
Yep, it's the
as we
exact
know.
same thing in the
Yes.
bottle. How about the labeling? How is the labeling different?
The labeling, you get this white and the plus on, I guess, here in Sweden. And for what I know, it's something for the FDA or something that you need to have this marking.
Yes, I'm actually going to go grab a example. Give me just a minute because I'll be right back. I know where it's at. Let's see. Okay. For whatever reason, I came to my computer and totally forgot to bring my samples. But for instance, lemon and lemon vitality. So here's the different bottles. And on the lemon here, the instructions is dilute 1 drop with 1 drop of V6 or olive oil and apply to the desired area as needed. Aromatic, diffuse up to 1 hour 3 times a day. So this is going to list your topical and your aromatic uses. Your lemon vitality, I have to peel back the label. And its instruction says put 2 drops in a capsule, take 3 times a day. So it can either say take in a capsule or add to water, but basically, as long as it is a vitality, as long as an oil comes in the vitality version, you know that that oil is safe for internal consumption. And then, of course, you can choose whichever sized bottle you want to take with you on the road type of thing. And that's why I love keeping my small bottles. Yeah. So let me go and check the chat and see what we have here. And over on Facebook, you guys, if you do add something to the chat, I will jump over there eventually and check it out, but I'm not looking right now. Okay, so Anne said, where do you find the link? So the link to the preparedness guide I mentioned is on my website. It's lifewithrose.com/prep. And so that is the link, and I'll go ahead and put that here in our chat. So it's lifewithrose.com and /prep for preparedness. And that is one way that you can get to it. What I'm going to do is actually go ahead and pull up my website because I am going to share a blog that I wrote, and this is actually where you guys can find everything we're talking about today. So, here we go. Okay, so if you go to lifewithrose.com and then you click on blog, that is where you can go ahead and find this blog today. So essential oils for outdoor adventures. Here we go. And what's so fun is this photo is from Sedona, Arizona. And this was a trip to go visit my brother Daniel. Oh gosh, in February, I think. So what was fun is we actually got to ride horses. It was crazy. In the span of 5 days, we got to go hiking in Sedona. We took Daniel's boat out on Saguaro Lake and went fishing. And we ended up fishing at night when it was about 38 degrees out. And then as the night got even colder, when we were camping and it went below freezing a few degrees. So if you could think, Arizona is generally a hot state, but they got a little cold spell while we were there. And that was interesting. Yeah, just riding horses. So within the span of a few days, Saturday night, it got below freezing when we were camping. Sunday, we went back to the house, saddled up his horses, went on a 4-hour horseback ride to the river, and it turned out that it was about 78 degrees during the day. I had to take my jacket off and I got a sunburn. So thank you for Lavender to the rescue. We did that. And what's fun is in this blog, I wanted to just break down our outdoor adventures into kind of specific categories. So what we're going to talk about today is fun in the sun. What can you use just when you're out in the sun? What can we do to keep the bugs away? Get rid of unwanted odors. And everybody, we want fresh breath, good hygiene. So there's some great Young Living products that they have for that. And then some basic first aid oils. So this is kind of what I want to cover today is, how about this? Add in the chat if you have a favorite product that you like to use when you're out in the sun. Here's the ones that I have mentioned. Mineral sunscreen lotion, the Lavaderm After Sun Spray, and lavender essential oils. Those are just 3 very, very basic ones. And here's what's interesting. Did you know, as far as sunscreen goes, when it says SPF 50, that actually means that whatever amount of time that your skin can normally allow you to be outside without getting burnt. So for me, it's about an hour. If I'm outside for an hour, I'm good. If I'm out there longer than an hour, I start getting a little bit pink type of thing. And so for me, if I am using the sunscreen that says SPF 50, that means you can stay outside 50% longer than you normally would. So I could stay out an hour and a half without getting pink. You know, if you think about SPF 30, then that's about an extra 20 minutes, for instance. So that's kind of how sunscreen works. And then, of course, you can reapply it. What's really fun is Young Living has a video on their YouTube channel that actually really gives a good description of our sunscreen. So if you or others are wondering like why Young Living sunscreen is so much better than all the rest. A, it doesn't have a lot of the ingredients that we don't want putting on our skin. And B, the technology works really well for its purpose of the sun. And it also, you can rub it in nicely and it doesn't leave that weird white, powdery or lotiony look on your skin. So I like that. Some of the natural sunscreen lotions out there just look a little funky, but this one generally rubs in really nicely. So the other thing is the Lavaderm After Sun Spray. And I'm going to pull this up on the Young Living website because it is absolutely just a wonderful feel of a product. And it's something that I use oftentimes, you know, just after being out in the sun. So Young Living's description is that the Lavaderm After Sun Spray offers temporary relief from pain and itching of minor burns, minor cuts, sunburns, scrapes, insect bites, and minor skin irritation. That says it all, honestly. So please have this on hand because it is so good if you do get a little pink, but it's also just very, very soothing. It has menthol in it, and that is why Young Living is able to make certain claims that they can. And then it also has your, let's see, your essential oils of, I'm looking, of course, lavender, but then, oh, here we go, ingredients. So you've got a few other safflower oil, sunflower oil, jojoba oil. Those are all very good for the skin. And then your lavender, aloe vera leaf, heliochrysum is included in this one. So if you know anything about heliochrysum, that is a single essential oil that's extremely good for soothing the skin, you know, after any thing that would, you know, affect the skin. And it's super inexpensive. So $27 for this lavender after sun spray. Yeah. And then the lavender essential oil. Okay, I'm going to take a few minutes to actually pause and share about lavender because there's so many different ways to use it. So one very simple way you can use lavender is just, this isn't lavender, but just taking it, open the palm of your hand, put a few drops in your hand, you know, 1 to 3 drops, rub your hands together, and then just apply it to the area. And so I'll do this. It's the easiest way. If you get a little pink, a little red, you want to support your skin, that is what I do with lavender. If it's something, you know, where it's just a specific area. Like for instance, ears. Be careful of your ears being out in the sun too much. Rubbing lavender on your ears is beautiful. And if you do get like a chapped or blisters or something like that, lavender is very soothing to the skin for that. It may sting a little bit when you first put it on, but lavender is such a soothing oil that it's one we generally don't dilute. Um, and again, you know, if you experience any redness, itching, irritation, go ahead and use the V6 mixing oil from Young Living. It's a great way to dilute an essential oil. You could also use olive oil, coconut oil type of thing, because when you dilute an essential oil is such tiny molecules that it goes into the skin very quickly. When you use what we call a fatty oil, like a coconut oil, it's a bigger molecule. So what it does is the essential oil and the fatty oil bond onto each other, and that makes the essential oil absorb more slowly into the body. So diluting just causes that essential oil to go in and have even a longer lasting effect. Very good. You know, something else you could do with lavender is add some vitamin E oil to it and apply it to the skin. You could take some aloe vera gel and add your lavender to it. That's a really good after sun application for it, because that aloe vera gel is very soothing, and it also is moisturizing. And something I did a few summers ago in Colorado when all I had was the lavender oil, a friend's son did get a really bad sunburn. And so we took a spray bottle with 4 ounces of water and we added about 25 drops of lavender. And he spritzed it on himself every 3 hours. And no joke, I mean, a day later, he had a lot better recovery than I've seen. So lavender to the rescue, to the soothing, healing rescue. All right. Any other questions about skin while we're talking about sun? I'm going to go over here and see if there's anyone else that I need to promote to panelists. I just added a few there, you guys. Okay. Well, let's keep moving on. So our next segment here is bye-bye bugs. Who wants to deal with those pesky bugs? So, number one best essential oil that I have found blend for keeping away the critters is Purification. Honestly, if you go Google search essential oils for repelling bugs, there's so much out there. But personally, I love to keep it simple. And so the one thing I keep in my first aid kit is the Purification Essential Oil Blend, because as we know, it does have purifying and cleansing properties when applied topically or when diffused. And so it has multiple uses. And it is really hard to stay compliant for this essential oil. But what I can share is a personal testimony, right? And so I've gotten bit by ants because I was out gardening. And so what did I personally do is I went and I grabbed my bottle of Purification and I put a drop right on the ant bite. And then I reapplied another drop about 30 minutes later and about 30 minutes later. And after that, it was pretty much um, soothed enough to where I didn't really need it. So this is something that has worked even on my friend's dog. Was doing its business, going potty, and some ants decided to crawl up its legs and not be nice, the poor puppy. And so that's something you can even use with animals. Now, it's not on the website, it doesn't say to use with animals, but we do know that we have all of our animal scents oils as well. And I think it's the TOA. They have a specific one formulated for animals, but I have used Purification on, like, also just even on a horse when flies were kind of nibbling at it and it had a spot where there wasn't any hair, I just put the Purification right on there, and then I topped it off with the animal scents ointment. So that ointment is really good if you're needing to cover an area to keep it clean or to keep it moisturized, type of a thing. Keep things like dust and dirt and whatnot from getting in it. So what's really cool with your Purification, and we're going to talk about odors be gone in a sec, is that you can also make a spray out of it. And that works well for odors as well as just to spray on topically. However, What's really nice is that eventually Young Living came out with a plant-based insect repellent. And the essential oils in this are the same as in purification. So I am going to click on this. As you can see, there's two options. There's your insect repellent, which is like a lotion, and then the insect wipes. Both are absolutely amazing. And so this guy, I mean, it is a 6 fluid ounce bottle, so it's a larger bottle, but I keep it with me on a lot of things like kayaking and whatnot. Because what's beautiful is in the description, it says alternative to traditional bug repellents that effectively prevent mosquito, flea, and tick bites. So, voila, that is cool. And it does not include DEET. So I absolutely love this. It really is the simplest way. So rather than grabbing your purification, if you want another product, grab the insect repellent. Um, what's nice about this one is it has kind of a lotiony feel. So rather than putting on moisturizer in the morning, when I'm out camping, I actually use this to keep the bugs away and as kind of a moisturizer. And I just put a little light coat all over my arms and legs. Be sure to get your neck as well and chest area because that's where we need it as well. And yes, Mary Lewis, go ahead.
Yes, as we don't have that in Sweden, can you use purification and dilute that in some sort of way, or should you combine it with something else? What you say?
That's a great
We have
question.
tricks here.
Oh, yes. Okay. My best suggestion would be to take the V6 mixing oil
Yes.
and add your purification to that and apply it to the skin because that will have the same effect as using the lotion.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. It will feel about the same. And because what I've realized is if you just put purification on your hands and rub it over your skin, that's effective for a little while. But because the essential oil quickly evaporates into the air and quickly goes into the skin, about 30 seconds, 30 minutes later, you're not going to really have that purification on your skin any longer. By adding it to the V6 mixing oil, it keeps it on the surface of the skin and it keeps the odor there longer.
Okay. Thank
Yeah,
you.
that's a great question. I love it, right? All these DIYs that we can do. So the fun thing about the insect repellent wipes is just that, like what Beverly Banks does, is she even takes her dog collar and wipes off the dog collar with this, or wipes off her pets with it. So that's a great use if you are taking pets with you on the trip. And these, because they come in a little single serving thing, this is what I put in a backpack when I go hiking. You know, much easier than the bottle. So just grab a few little packets of it. You can even cut it in half, you know, and only use half of it type of a thing and save it. So these are really cost effective and really useful. Yeah. Well, now let's move on to this aspect of odors because what was it, 3 years ago, some friends and I went camping and we were 5 hours away from the house, no cell service. I had my stash of oils. Um, and, you know, it was getting close to dark. I opened up our tent and I'm like, oh, that stinks. And then my thought immediately went to sleeping in that, and I couldn't stand it. So I went to our grill master and I said, Sir, do you have a spray bottle? And he ended up having a spray bottle, you know, that he used to spray meat and water meat and stuff on the grill. And I'm like, I'm sorry, but I need to borrow it. Actually, that was a different time. Okay. So on this trip, what I had was I had my Thieves spray. So we love, love, love our Thieves spray. And it's very small and it's easy to take with you, right? But there's also not that much in the bottle. So here we go. I'm going to pull it up. This is our wonderful, amazing Thieves spray. As we know, it's a fast, convenient way to clean and freshen hard surfaces at home and on the go. And it has the same essential oils as thieves in it, right? But it also has the denatured alcohol in it. Um, so there we go. So it's interesting is I had a bottle of this. So I went to town, spraying my tent. And then what happens? I mean, it's a massive, like 6-person tent. So I run out of my thieves spray. So what I did is a little DIY. I just went and filled up this little bottle with water and about 10 drops of thieves oil. And I went back to town spraying the tent. I mean, it took me about 3 sprays, but no joke. After spraying the inside and outside of the tent down, opening the windows, when we went to bed about 3 hours later, peace out on the smell because it was gone. that was that was the happiest DIY I think I'd ever done for camping. So I think that thieves or purification would be good essential oils for that use. And the beautiful thing is you can do the thieves spray or one of these DIY sprays with the thieves or purification. And I mean, it works for like inside of your tennis shoes when they're stinky. If you have flip flops, maybe you go shower and you just want to like spritz off your flip flops after showering. That's great. Honestly, because both of these oils can be applied to the skin. I mean, after a hike, if I don't have time to shower, I will give myself a little purification or thieves spritzer bath and spray myself down, wipe it off, and there you go. You know, so it's just amazing how many uses we have for this. I've even used the purification essential oil as like an on-the-go deodorant because I didn't know where my deodorant was, and my armpits weren't very happy, or my nose wasn't very happy because my armpits had done their job. Let's say that. So, anywho, it's hopefully that gives you some good ideas for those. And I think now, okay, do we have any questions or comments about that? Have you guys made up any spritzers or sprays that you really like? Oh, I'm going over here to the chat. Let's see. Okay, so Anne said, what do you use for itchy skin? Um, Purification is very soothing to the skin. Lavender would be another one that I would recommend. Those are probably my 2 go-tos. Peppermint has been beneficial as well. I have known a few people that have gotten into poison ivy, and purification was the go-to for soothing for that. I would also recommend, though, the Lavaderm after sun spray for that is very nice and soothing. And it has some of that peppermint in there as well, so it's going to have a little bit of that cooling feeling when you apply it. Oh, and then let's see, Marie Louise, what were you asking about using it undiluted?
You
Oh,
said you put the lavender and you put the purification in, and but you use it also undiluted.
I do. Purification and lavender are both very gentle. Lavender for sure. Purification, generally, I use it undiluted. I don't think there's ever been a time where it's been, burning or irritating enough where I needed to dilute it. What is interesting about purification, if we go and we look at the ingredients in it, um, and this is just a little bit of a lesson on looking at ingredients and knowing if an oil is going to be a hot oil or not. Um, some of the oils, like oregano, for instance, is in the greenish bottle. So a lot of the oils in those colored bottles, like oregano is probably the hottest oil. Oregano and cassia are very hot. So I always dilute those when I apply them topically. Um, Cassie, like one time I thought, oh, this will be a great perfume. And I put it on my neck. And then I go out and I'm talking to mom and she goes, honey, what happened? Your neck is all red. And I thought, yeah, it's kind of weird. It itches a little bit. So it is definitely one of those hotter oils. And that just means we can slow down the absorption by diluting it with B6 or something. Um, so going back to if you think about an essential oil that you would use as a spice, like something you would cook with, um, so oregano, thyme, cinnamon bark is kind of hot. Um, Lemongrass can be a bit hot to the skin. So I usually, you can dilute lemongrass. It's up to you, but some people would choose to rather than not, just because it's a little hotter. Um, what's interesting is rosemary isn't really a very hot oil, but some may want to dilute it. So if you look in the purification blend, it does have lemongrass and rosemary in there. And so again, it's one that generally I don't dilute, but if you do feel kind of a uh like a slight stinging feeling on the skin, it's probably because of the lemongrass. So that's a little note about that one. Myrtle, tea tree, citronella, lavender aren't generally ones that would affect the skin. But here's what it says, apply 2 to 4 drops directly to desired area. Dilution not required except for the most sensitive skin. Use as needed. And so that is on the purification. So isn't that neat? We can get used to reading the oils, the single oils in a blend and kind of figure out if it should be diluted. If you can't, run to the website and see what it says. Honestly, though, what's interesting. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Elizabeth, but you use the plus oils and the normal, so to speak, oils equally. If you have a lavender that doesn't say plus on it, you still take it inside because that is the same oil as the plus ones.
That is the conclusion I have come to, and pretty much everyone else, is
Yes.
that if it comes in the plus bottle, then you know what's in both of these bottles is the exact same thing. So if you feel comfortable taking the Vitality version, then you would know that it's the same thing in the bottle.
Thanks.
Yeah, yeah. And as we know too, it's more cost effective getting the bigger bottles. So I pretty much always buy a big lemon, a big digize, a big frankincense, a big lavender, but then I just know which ones come in the Vitality version and the plus version, like you're saying. Yeah, yeah. Let me go and check Facebook really quick, see if we have any comments over here. Oh, let me do a quick refresh here. Okay. I am not seeing any comments, so we're good for now. Okay. Let's keep on going to fresh breath because this is one that really came to mind. I'm getting ready to go on a trip to France with Mother and several of our team members, actually, and friends. It's been so fun getting to plan the trip and everything. Mother's done the majority of the planning, but what came to my mind is what are all the little things that you can use miniature size of? So Young Living does have a traveling thieves toothpaste. And so let me see if I can find it. Oh, I hope they have it. Let's see. Because they used to have a little 2-ounce one. Oh no. Okay, well, they don't right now. I'm so sorry. I guess I fibbed. But maybe they'll come back with it. So they used to have the small travel-sized Thieves toothpaste. Um, then the Thieves mouthwash, of course, comes in your bigger bottle. But the little cheat that I do for that is I actually get the small little 2-ounce bottle of mouthwash that's like Crest or whatever, and I just dump it down the drain because I don't want to use that stuff. But I like the bottle. It's a great size. So I actually, put it in my purse. I don't have it in there now, but it's so small. Like I usually just have, hold on, I'll show you my purse. So like this is the purse that I actually use on a daily basis. And I fit my little thing of these mouthwash in here. I put my lavender chapstick and I put a fold up toothbrush. And what's nice is when you're on the go, you can just take a little swig of the mouthwash, keep it in your mouth, brush your teeth, and then spit it out if you want to. So, I know it's not the same as toothpaste, but at least it gives you that wonderful, refreshing feeling in your mouth. And I'm trying to think of other things. Well, like right now in my purse, I have Coat by Eva, Stress Away, and Peppermint. So, it's kind of amazing how we can just get so used to having things like that purse never goes anywhere without at least one essential oil in it. Either it's because it's an oil that I need, or I'm going to go meet up with a friend and I know it's something they may want to try, or I just want to like be able to tell them about it. So it's great to have a sample with you all the time. Okay, so getting back to our blog here. Oh, another great thing is the Thieves Cough Drops. And those are so super easy to just stick in your bag on the go. Uses for Thieves Cough Drops. Oh my goodness. Before I get on an airplane. While I'm hiking, while I'm on the way to a meeting and I want to have fresh breath. Um, if I've got a little tickle in my throat type of thing. Thieves cough drops are just the go-to, or the lozenges. The lozenges actually have more of a thieves flavor and they're stronger than the cough drops. The cough drops are a little more minty, but still have the thieves blend in it. So that's the difference between the cough drops and the lozenges. So then moving on with just the deodorizing factor of things, love our deodorants. Um, and with that, there's actually several deodorants that Young Living has, although I just put the Valor for the sake of it. But they actually have CitraGuard, Valor, and Meadow Mist. So they have 3 different ones, and they're all amazing. I'm going to share like a slightly personal thing is, we all generally put deodorant under our armpits, but sometimes we sweat in other places too. So I actually love the ingredients of Young Living's deodorant enough. I feel comfortable using it anywhere. And so I'm just one of those weird people that when I work out and stuff, I sweat between my legs. So I put it down there and it works well. So there we go. There's Elizabeth's little secret for the day. um, okay. And Young Living has a great video on their YouTube channel about the deodorant as well. And it's a fabulous one to watch yourself and share because it talks about what deodorant actually does and how our deodorant helps to kill the bacteria that causes the odor. So there we go for that one. Now, something I'm testing out is I put in the blog this whole Shutron 3-in-1 idea. And what's interesting about it is that this guy is something I've taken camping with me because I don't want to take 3 containers of shampoo, a conditioner, and a body wash. So even though this is part of the Shutron men's line and it comes in the small 3-ounce or your larger 8-ounce, I got the 3-ounce and I'm going to try it on my hair and my body and just see how long does it last? How many washes can I do? And like, how does my hair feel with prolonged use of it? Because I'm going to be in France and Italy for 15 days, and I'm considering taking this as the one and only 3-in-1 thing that I have. So maybe I'll report back on that. but especially for guys, they have shorter hair, most of them, and don't have to worry as much about the oil buildup and things like that. So this works great for guys, but I'm trying it out as a female, so we'll see how that works. I have shaved with it though, and it works just great as a shaving thing on the go. So at least you could use it as your body wash and shaving for females, even if you don't want to do your hair, because I know we're finicky. But that is, under your well, it's 3 ounces, so it's right at the limit of the bottle size you're allowed to take on an airplane. Okay. Last but not least, we have the Thieves wipes and the Thieves hand sanitizer. And those are just mainstays, right? I'm not a huge hand sanitizer person, um, but if I do need hand sanitizer, I go with the Young Living version. Reason being is that it uses the denatured alcohol rather than just alcohol. And then it also has your peppermint, your clove, your lemon, rosemary, and cinnamon in there. And so, as we know, those are all oils that are in our Thieves blend. So it smells great. It's not all like perfumey. You don't have to worry about fake fragrance or the alcohol aspect of it because this is denatured alcohol. Now, the best part is it's mild, skin friendly, and Young Living says on their website it kills 99.99% of germs. So we can absolutely share this as something for our friends, even for their kids to put in their backpacks and stuff like that. So there we go. Um, you know what? Just as, for instance, the like as a hand sanitizer, an easy thing is if all you have is your Thieves essential oil or your purification essential oil, just go ahead and put a drop of those in your hands and rub it around. It's going to be great. So that's the cool thing. We don't have to have bottles upon bottles of different things. We can just use our Thieves as a very basic formula and use it in so many different ways. So I hope this is encouraging. And let's open it up to questions and comments. And then I'll go into it at our very final. I'll share how to go ahead and get access to the preparedness guide. And at the bottom of this blog, it does list my favorite preparedness oils. So these are just the very, very basic ones that I would recommend everybody have on hand. Thieves, RC, Digize, Peppermint, Purification, Melrose, Lavender, Aroma Seas, Stress Away, and Lemon. And we've talked about so many of those. But what I would say about Aroma Seas, my brother Joseph, this is his absolute favorite one for skydiving. He's a professional skydiver. And for the past 3 summers, he's gone over to Europe. And for like 2 weeks, his friends will hike all the mountains and then jump off of mountains and send me crazy videos that I'm glad I get after the fact, or else I'd be scared. But what's neat is because of the oils in this blend, it combines basil, marjoram, lavender, peppermint, and cypress. And let's see, that is all of the oils in this one. But what's beautiful is that when applied topically, it creates a soothing and rejuvenating post-exercise experience. Joseph uses it, for so many different things, but just get used to having this one and applying it topically. What I say is on location, but wherever you're feeling sore, like a stiff neck. I mean, I've woken up from camping and whatever we're sleeping on may not be the best. So I love to put it on my neck. Works great on the lower back if you're getting, it's just soothing in that area. And so Aroma Seas, definitely probably my first go-to for comfort. But Marie Louise, do you have an idea of other ones similar to Aromaseas that you might recommend?
I love Valor.
Oh, yes.
I
Yes.
love Valor. I use it very much, and I have also introduced it to some friends who was very skeptical in the beginning, but they tried it for me just because, and then they said, "Oh, I can't joke it away. I love it." So,
Ah,
I love Valor. I use it very much for when I have in my neck or in my back or something.
yes.
I
Valor
think
is,
Mia does the same.
oh yeah, Mia. Good. Other ones that I can think of would be Deep Relief, Panaway, mm, Cool Azul, or the Cool Azul. I don't know if you have that one. Let me look it up here. We have Cool Azul, and what's interesting is it comes in an essential oil, but then they also reformulated it as a pain cream or as a sports gel. So check it out and see if you have that one. As just a 15 ml bottle of oil, it is expensive. It's $86 a bottle.
We
But
don't have
let's,
it. We
you
don't
do
have.
not. Okay.
We have Dorado Azul.
Okay. And that's a good single oil, which is in Cool Azul. Yep. But in Cool Azul, it has wintergreen, peppermint, sage, copaiba, oregano, neoli, another oregano, lavender, blue cypress, elamai, vetiver, caraway, dorado azul, and um, metacaria. So this is just loaded with really good oils um, for soothing. So creating a very soothing sensation when applied topically. But going back to the pain relief cream, I like using this in America as our example because of the claims we can make. So let me see if I can go here. Computer's being funky. Okay, so here's what's fun. Because it is, Young Living went to the lengths of getting it certified. Here's what's nice. OTC means over the counter. And so if you look at any of our products and they have this type of label, you know that Young Living has gone to the lengths to get this certified by the FDA so that they can make claims. And the reason they can make the claims is because of these active ingredients of menthol and the methyl salicylate. So the claims are because of those specific things, right? But as we know, there's all these other active ingredients that work above and beyond. So this is the beauty of the Cool Azul Pain Relief. Offers fast acting relief from minor muscle and joint aches with the aromatic combination of wintergreen premium essential oil and Young Living's exclusive Cool Azul oil blend. So this is a great one. Of course, it's a 3.4 ounce bottle. And so if you were flying on an airplane, you'd have to check it in your suitcase type of thing. Or you probably wouldn't put it in your backpack hiking, but it is a really good thing to have once you get back and need it. So there we go. So that kind of covers the very basics. And what's so crazy is there's more. But probably the hardest thing for me was to actually narrow down the basics, because what's nice is anybody can then go and like swap something out. If instead of DiGize, you wanted to use Aroma Ease. Aroma Ease was also created for supporting the digestive system. It's one I don't use very much, but it has a different smell and it works pretty well for the same thing. So we can always do that. um, so yeah, let me open it up. Do we have any questions? Questions, thoughts? I'm going back to the chat. Okay, we don't have anything new in the chat. But feel free to write in the chat if you have any thoughts, questions, things you've used that have worked.
You have so many things in the US that we don't have here that we want to have here.
Yes.
Yeah, it's regulations, I guess, and everything. But when I'm looking at your site, oh, I want that, I want that, I want that. But
Mm,
yeah.
well, I guess if we were to look on the bright side, at least you have a lot. And if we didn't have Young Living, my goodness, what would we do? So hopefully as time goes on, you'll be able to get more. But gosh, I'm trying to think. I know there'd be a way we could get in touch. My email address is just elizabeth@lifewithrose.com. I'll write it in the chat
Can't
here.
hear you, Elizabeth.
Oh,
No?
uh-oh. Can you hear me now?
Mia, do you hear Elizabeth?
No, yeah,
Oh, okay, you can hear
Yeah.
me. Okay. I
So-
am talking. Okay. Huh. Uh-oh. I hope I didn't do something weird. Okay, I just turned my audio back on.
I can still hear you.
Okay. What was I going to say? Oh, I'll write in the chat. Just because if you're wondering, like if you have a specific maybe oil in America that then you don't have there, we can always figure out what to swap it out with. So if you need to email me, there's my email address. Definitely happy to answer questions, but I know you ladies have amazing team as well. So of course you can ask them. Neat. Okay, well, how about this? To top it all off, I'm going to go ahead and share the preparedness guide and where to find that, because if you would like it, it's a digital download. And this took me like hundreds of hours to do. I created the first draft about 2 years ago for a preparedness expo, and then went ahead and edited it again, and made it available. So there's 2 different pages on my website. If you go to the tab that says preparedness, what I did here is I went ahead and wrote a short description, and then I went ahead and wrote out the things that I would recommend for basic care for everyone to have on hand. And then intermediate care, you take the basic care plus these extra ones to add to it. And then advanced care is like everything, everything, everything. So pretty much what is listed here is what then I put in the preparedness guide and give you like ways to use it and things like that. So I just wanted it to be something that was super simple for a person to use. So you can either click the add to cart right here, and it's $7.99. The only reason I didn't do it just as a free download is because I thought it has taken a lot of time to put it together, and a lot of personal knowledge and things like that. So I truly believe it is worth it to just have it all in a document. I don't mind if you guys want to print it, spiral bound it, whatever you want to do. Once you have it, it is totally yours to enjoy. And just this morning, right before jumping on Wednesday Wisdom, I finished the edit of that. So here is just the actual page of Healthy Traveler's Guide. And what I did was just do a little explanation of like my heart in writing it. Because what was interesting is I really wanted to combine the years of natural health coaching that I had with the experience of traveling and adventuring and all the different things we get ourselves into. So that is why. And I think as time goes on, my goal is to actually do like an Amazon publish with this and have it in print. but it's kind of expensive just to go to the local Office Max and print it and then ship it out to everybody. So at least we have it as a digital thing right now. So what I'll go ahead and do is put this page in our chat, and you guys can check that out. Feel free to share it with team members, anything you want to do like that. And then I'll go ahead and share the other page on my website is just lifewithrose.com/prep. And so that website will take you to the different preparedness bundles there that I have. And of course, what I try to do when I write things, because I don't want to take anyone else's customer, I say, whoever referred you to this, go talk to them. If you need a sponsor in Young Living, click here and you can sign up. So hopefully I want to make sure everybody keeps their customers and we're all happy, but just use it. It's a great resource. So good. I hope today was helpful. Thank you all for joining, and may we all just enjoy many, many more adventures together.
Thank you so much. It's been really, really, I've learned a lot.
Good, Mia.
So, yeah, wonderful. I'm coming up to 1 year. April is 1 year celebration.
Congratulations. That is 1 year of just using the best of the best out there. I
Yep.
bet you've learned so much this year.
Yes. Thanks to you.
Well, it's a pleasure coming on and getting to do these with Terry and Beverly and Aunt Jan last week. So definitely what we're trying to do is put as many recordings as we can on our YouTube channel. And so what's fun is if you just go to, I'm going to open up a new tab and go to youtube.com. And then what I do up here is just type in Royal Dream Team. And let's see if it pulls it up. So it doesn't really pull it up that way. But actually, if you do youtube.com/@ Royal Dream Team, I think this will work. Here we go. Okay. So the link to our Royal Dream Team is this, youtube.com/ the @ Royal Dream Team. And here's all the different Wednesday wisdoms that we've done for a while. So feel free to share this with folks and use it. Yeah.
Oh, that's brilliant. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And I can say, after last week and Jan's talking about the skincare and stuff, I have a lot in my basket for this month. I think it was 700 and something PVs.
Oh my goodness. Oh, that is going to be such a treat.
Yeah, that's wonderful. And after tonight, really interesting too. Yes. I'm gonna go and see what I have in stock.
Good. Yeah, see what you have, and then just, every month, every other month, add a little something else to it and just experiment with them on a daily basis. So then you know what you can use when you need them for
Exactly.
other things. Yeah, goodness. All
Yes.
right, y'all. Well, my note from Beverly Banks is that because of her taking to her son to the doctor, she's going to not do book club today. But next week we will talk about all 4 chapters. So that's going to be chapters 5, 6, 7, and 8 on Leadership Book Club next week. And we're reading The One Gift. So I don't know if you have gotten that book or are interested. You could always grab it and just catch up a little bit. I'm already on chapter 9. It's so hard not to read a chapter a night. And my boyfriend works in another state, so we do a phone call every night. And I told him about it. I'm like, what do you think about me reading you this book? And he goes, oh, I love it. So every night now he asked me, are you going to read to me? Do you get to read to me tonight? And I'm like, honey, we're going to get through this book so quickly. But it's just our thing. We're loving it now.
Great.
Sorry, I didn't follow. Which book was it you were talking about?
So it's called One Gift.
One Gift.
And have you heard of it before?
I
Oh,
have. I've tried to find it closer than the States because
oh,
it's so
because
expensive shipping it.
shipping.
Um,
Gosh,
yeah.
yeah. I wish, but I don't think that it's available anywhere else. I know that,
Oh, it's that one, the essential oil. It's that one. Yeah, I heard of
well, it's no, I need
No.
to let me find the specific one because where is it? I'm trying to find the search bar. There we go. So, One Gift is a book that Gary Young actually wrote. And it's this big guy. I mean, it's a big fat book, 250 pages or something, but it actually happens in about 900 BC, so 900 years before Christ, and it is about a camel caravan leader. So Shutron, it's so interesting because we know we have our Shutron products, right? But the character in this book, Gary, named Shutron, and he's a father. He has a wife and 4 children, and he owns like 200 camels. And then he takes frankincense and myrrh and cistus and all these different goods and does camel caravans throughout what we would nowadays be like Oman, Yemen, Saudi Arabia, Dubai. He's just about to take the longest caravan he's ever done with 300 camels and go to Jerusalem. And the Queen of Sheba has actually commissioned him to lead her camel caravan. So it's fascinating because Gary actually mixes in some biblical history as well as history of essential oils, ancient uses. So if you get the ancient apothecary guide, things that are talked about in the book, like in chapter 2 or 3, this guy wakes up in the middle of the night and it's called a camel spider, and it's massive. It's like, you know, 8 inches to a foot around. And this camel spider, like, will take its venom and, poke you so you can't feel anything. And then just like gnaw off your ear and just eat half your face. And you wake up and you're bloody and all that, right? It's just this horrible thing that happens in that part of the world. And
it.
still to this day, they have it. So during one of the camel caravans, this guy gets eaten by a spider, and they end up packing it with myrrh resin and cistus and frankincense and making him drink a tea that helps with the pain. And then they go and they drop him off at the next town they get to and leave him some of the um, healing things that he needs. And then they come back 3 months later and his face is practically back to normal.
Wow. That is something.
Yeah. So I love that apothecary guide, and it's a fascinating book. I know it's expensive, but if you feel like getting your hands on it, it's a good read. It's been fun.
I will
Yeah.
definitely. Have you been to Jerusalem?
Say that again.
Have you been to Jerusalem?
I have. Yes. In 2018, I went on a trip. How about you?
Yes, I have. And I think,
Oh,
walking around when you knew the historical importance of certain places and you were actually walking there as well, I
yes.
thought that was mind-blowing. It was, wow. Yeah,
You feel the historic nature of certainly Jesus and so many
yeah,
others that have walked in those same areas, and just
yeah.
getting to actually trace the footsteps is
Mm,
amazing.
yeah,
Yeah.
When will you come to
lovely.
Sweden? When will you come to Sweden and visit us?
You know what? I like this idea. Well, when do I need to come? Oh, I know that we're going to France June 15th for about 7 days, and then going to Italy, to Milan, and then to Lake Como for about 5 days. And the interesting factor is my brothers Daniel and Joseph are going to go to probably like Austria, Italy, Switzerland, that area, because that's where Joseph does his skydiving. And they're going at the end of July, though. So I had it in my mind, wait, what if I could just stay in Europe and for a few weeks until I meet up with them? But it would be a long stay, so I don't know. Maybe we
Yeah. Where are you going to in France then?
we're gonna go visit Young Living's lavender farm in Provence.
Oh, okay.
So it's a small town that we're staying in. I don't know the exact name of the town, but kind of a small village. So I think it'll be nice. For whatever reason, I'm not the biggest fan of like the big touristy cities. So maybe one day visiting Paris would be cool, but it's not necessarily on my bucket list nearly as much as some of the smaller towns, villages.
Paris is wonderful. It
Really?
is. Yeah.
Aw. Well, I had all the time and all the resources and everything, I would probably just pack a bag and flitz around for a while. Oh my goodness. Well, I guess we can bring today to a conclusion, but thank you all so much.
Thank you for sharing.
Yes, thank
Everything.
you.
Absolutely. You are so welcome. Well, till next week, Beverly is teaching about this funky name of a thing that I can't remember off the top of my head, but it is going to be a really good one. Okay, she is teaching about supporting healthy GLP-1 production. And she shared with me today, maybe this is her little story to share, but she said she's lost 15 pounds in the last month. And she had it to lose, so it's not like it's an abnormal thing, but she's been working and learning a lot about this GLP-1 in our body. So I know next week is going to be a good one. And if you know anybody, whether or not they're even in Young Living yet, this might be a good one to invite them to. So we're totally okay. If there's people that you want to learn about our products, and hopefully that will encourage them to join with you. That's a great way to get them started.
Oh, that is fabulous. I was thinking about that.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, you're welcome. Just basically, I don't know. Do you get the text message reminders or how do you find out about Wednesday Wisdom?
Email.
Yeah, we get an email.
Okay, good. I know it goes out via email in the US, and you could probably get it too. People text the word wisdom to a phone number, and then you get a text message. Like on Mondays, we usually send that out. I don't know about international though, so just go ahead and go by the email and share that with your friends. Yeah.
Thank you so
Absolutely.
much.
Okay, talk to you
Yes.
Take
later.
care and
Sorry we
say
went
hello
over
to
care.
it.
everyone.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.